Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be discussing a character, a person, a piece of hot flaming garbage that I have absolutely zero patience for. The person in question we're talking about is Lena Dunham. Now, if you don't know, it's like she's making me sick just talking about her. If you don't know who Lena Dunham is, consider yourself blessed. I'm about to curse you. So, Lena Dunham is a writer who wrote the show Girls. She's done other less notable things. As far as I know, Girls is the big selling thing of why people know about her existence. This is what she looks like. She is a self-proclaimed feminist. What else is there really to say? Not much. Anyway, I'm in no way in favor of cancel culture. I think it's stupid to cancel people because they make one mistake. Depending on how big that mistake is. If you're a rapist, you're automatically canceled, obviously, but I'm clearly referring to smaller, less significant events. However, if there is someone who I think is entirely canceled and has been for a while, it's Lena Dunham, because her antics have just kept going, and every time she apologizes and expects to come back as forgiven, but it's like, if you keep fucking up and you're not learning anything, why should anyone forgive you? Just wondering. Here we have an article by CNN Entertainment that says Lena Dunham is sorry again.
Girl, the shade of it all.
What we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about the most recent thing that happened, then I'm going to list out a bunch of other things she's done, just so you know how despicable she is. Says Dunham's last mea culpa came Wednesday in a letter she wrote as a guest editor for The Hollywood Reporter's Women in Entertainment issue. The Girls creator apologized to actress Aurora whatever for publicly disputing her account of being sexually assaulted by Girls writer Murray Miller. Last November, Aurora told the Wrap that she had filed a police report accusing Miller of raping her in 2012 when she was 17 years old and he was 35. Miller denies the allegations, and in August, the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office reportedly declined to pursue a case against him. In her THR letter, Dunham admitted that she had lied when? Does anyone edit what's online anymore? When she claimed she had insider information that would support Miller's innocence. When someone I knew, someone I had loved as a brother, was accused, I did something inexcusable. I publicly spoke up in his defense, Dunham wrote in THR letter. There are a few acts I could never regret more in this life. I didn't have insider information I claimed, but rather blind faith in a story that kept slipping and changing and revealed itself to mean nothing at all. I wanted to feel my workplace and my world were safe, untouched by the outside world, a privilege in and of itself, the privilege of ignoring what hasn't hurt you, and I claimed that safety at cost to someone else, someone very special. Now we're going to get into the previous apologies. One thing I really want to underline here that struck me is that it's like she's apologizing for defending a friend. Now, I think it's different to apologize for defending a rapist and claiming you had this information that would prove that they weren't rapists, compared to defending a friend, because most people's natural reaction is to think, I know that person, they would never rape someone. And I don't think that's an abnormal reaction. What I think is abnormal is to claim you have proof that you don't have. So I'm not angry at Lena Dunham for defending a friend, because that's pretty much natural for anyone. What I'm annoyed with is this fabrication of evidence, so to speak. Like, obviously, it's, you know, like she didn't fabricate anything because she didn't have anything, but this whole premise of I have something that will prove he's not a rapist. Like, I think that's fucked up. Because for a feminist, you'd think that she'd believe women. Isn't that the whole #MeToo kind of motto, believe women? Anyway, moving on from that. So, here are some examples listed by CNN Entertainment of previous shit shows she was involved in. So, she compared Cosby to the Holocaust. The thing is, like, some people might say, oh, some people make edgy jokes, but with Lena Dunham, it's not really a joke. And the thing is, like, for a joke to work, you need to have the right personality to pull it off, and she just doesn't. But anyway, During a 2015 interview with Girls co-showrunner Jenny Connor for Time Out New York, talk turned to allegations of sexual misconduct against Bill Cosby. Dunham was asked about her criticism and her friend and Girls executive producer Judge Apatow had received for speaking out against Cosby. It's sort of like saying someone's obsessed with the Holocaust, she responded. This is a huge issue and it speaks to the way we abuse power and the way that celebrity allows for injustice, Dunham said. Everyone else has gone. Let's hope it's not true. Chris Rock, who's an incredible guy and has a strong sense of social justice, has basically said, we'll see. She then apologized for the Holocaust reference on Instagram. So her post on Instagram said, very excited about my pop Time Out New York cover, photo by whatever. However, I feel I didn't properly express my respect and compassion for Karen O and Danny DeVito. Additionally, I'm already aware comparing Bill Cosby to the Holocaust wasn't my best analogy. With love from your special rape-hating Jew friend, Lena. Rape-hating is kind of ironic considering what just happened. So in an interview with Amy Schumer, Dunham recalled meeting the New York Giants wide receiver at the Met Ball in 2016. According to the actress, the football star just wasn't into her. It was so amazing because it was like he looked at me and determined I was not the shape of woman by his standards, Dunham said. He was like, that's a marshmallow, that's a child, that's a dog. It wasn't mean, he just seemed confused. The vibe was very much like, do I want to fuck it? Is it wearing a, yep, it's wearing a tuxedo. I'm going back to my cell phone, Dunham continued. It was like we were forced to be together and he literally was scrolling on Instagram rather than have to look at a woman in a bow tie, Dunham said. I was like, this should be called the Metropolitan Museum of Getting Rejected by Athletes. So obviously people online called her out for this because it's like she was complaining that he wasn't checking her out or that he didn't deem her sexually attractive. But the reality simply is if he had been checking her out and did deem her attractive, she would be outraged about that too because everything is offensive. So I don't really know what it was she was complaining about here. Like, are you really that upset that someone's not checking you out? Is it really that big of a deal? Anyway, Dunham again apologized by saying, I owe Odell Beckham Jr. an apology. Despite my moments of bravado, I struggle at industry events and in life with the sense that I don't rep a certain standard of beauty, and so when I show up to the Met Ball surrounded by models and swan-like actresses, it's hard not to feel like a sack of flaming garbage. She's right, she is a sack of flaming garbage. Not physically, because I don't really care on commenting about people's appearance, but who she is as a person is garbage, so she's partially right. This felt especially intense with a handsome athlete as my dinner companion and a bunch of women I was sure he'd rather be seated with. But I went ahead and projected these insecurities and made totally narcissistic assumptions about what he was thinking, so on and so forth. Just pause this if you want to read the rest of this. Wishing she had an abortion. Now this is one of the big ones because abortion is already a touchy subject. For someone so tactless and clueless generally to weigh in, I don't know, do people not have publicists anymore that tell you, hey, shut the fuck up about this, this is not the time, just don't? I don't know, I thought that was a thing. Anyway. Also in 2016, Dunham made a comment during her Women of the Hour podcast that did not sit well with some people. Dunham told the story of visiting a Planned Parenthood facility in Texas where she said she was asked by a younger girl to share her own story about abortion. I sort of jumped. I haven't had an abortion, I told her, Dunham recalled. I wanted to make it really clear to her, as much as I was going out and fighting for other women's options, I myself had never had an abortion. Even I, the woman who cares as much as anybody about a woman's right to choose, felt it was important to let people know I was unblemished in this department. She went on to continue. Now, I can say that I haven't had an abortion, but I wish I had. Dunham later said her comment was a distasteful joke. Now, most of you will know by this point that I have a very morbid sense of humor, so what I think is funny is probably offensive to some people. And I think the problem with Lena Dunham, this being said, is that her jokes don't land because of the way she says them. There's some jokes that we hear from particular edgy comedians that we think are funny because it matches the comedian, because we know what to expect. With Lena Dunham, it's this constant fight between two binaries of extreme offensiveness in her jokes, or whatever you want to call them, and then extreme, I don't know, snowflake syndrome and like screaming about things and being feminist, but not even in a productive way. Not feminist as an egalitarian, not feminist as in someone who's trying to, you know, just help women feel empowered or whatever. She's just feminist because she says it. That's it, really. So it's just kind of like this fight between two poles that are really opposite. So when she makes these jokes, we just don't expect them from her. So they just don't land. Apart from being unfunny, they don't land. For some reason, one of the things that this author didn't bring up, which I made an entire video about, well, the majority of the video was about it, and I can link that down below, is that in one of her books, Not That Girl, something like that, I'll show it here, she talks about essentially molesting her sister. And she talks about like giving her sister candy in order to like touch her in areas she shouldn't be touching her sister. At this point they were both very young, but nonetheless it seems very strange to me that you would kind of just put that out there, especially because like that's also your sister's information, it's not just yours. Now apparently I've read in a couple of articles, I don't know how reputable they are, but it said that the sister was okay with it, which to me is shocking because if that had happened to me I wouldn't really want people to know unless I choose for them to know. Hopefully this displayed what kind of person Lena Dunham is, someone to be avoided at all costs, and most of the time I would suggest you do as I do and forget she exists until the next scandal, which is probably going to be next week. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always. I'm really curious to hear your opinions on her. I'm assuming most people will not be a fan because I don't know any Lena Dunham fans, but if you are one, let me know why you are. If you're not, let me know why you're not. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time.